Today is good morning, conquering the four major fears.
Good morning. And I believe conquering these fears has a lot to do with how your life turns out.
Absolutely.
So we're going to talk about today the four major fears. Fear number one. Fear number one is the fear of failure. That's number one fear. Fear number two, the fear of success. That's
fear number three.
Fear number three is the fear of the unknown. and fear number four is the fear of judgment. Being judged. What are they going to say about me?
What are they saying about me? What are they talking about? They talking about me? They ain't even thought about you. But are they? We're going to talk about it back in a moment.
Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Like. We are here, and we are happy to be here on this Thoughtful Thursday, and we are grateful for the opportunity to have today's conversation
with you,
which is conquering the four major fears.
Whew, I've been running around. I'm glad.
You've been running. I'm so proud of you.
Better.
Running. I'm proud of you running up and down. Did you go up and down steps?
I did several times.
Look at you.
All right. This is a somewhat of a familiar topic on this broadcast. I think that's what we're
Well, you need to get it because I don't have it or one.
Okay, I'm gonna go get it.
So I am grateful. Hey, Susan. Good morning. Good morning.
And I'm really happy that we put the title on this one today because did you know that?
Did I know that we're live on the show?
Okay.
You having a whole live private dancing moment?
Okay.
Susan said, I'm agreeing with the rest about having a WIN meeting next week. Actually, I am going to. I decided to do it. I think, what is the 31st? It's Tuesday. Yes.
No, 31st is yes, it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. So yes, Susan, I am. We're going to have it in a new location. It will be virtual, but it will be in a new location.
That's exciting.
So I am going to send the notice out, and it's going to be a wonderful experience that we get to experience together. Amen. Good morning, Miss Phyllis. Good morning, darling. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Conquering the four major fears.
You just inspired me just now.
Oh, did I?
Having a men's meeting in our new location.
Oh, in our new location. You always be wanting to bite off of me.
But it makes so much sense, and it'll be so much easier for everybody.
And we'll do it on an off week so that we will be able to try it out, test it out, and be able to get some kinks worked out and all that good stuff.
Yes. So, man, I love having my own space.
So it won't be on the Wednesday. It will be on next Tuesday, the 30th. Thank you, Susan, for checking those dates for me.
Yeah,
it'll be on the 30th, because we have plans on the 31st.
Yep.
Secret plans. I don't know what they are.
I'm going to do something nice for my wife and myself. And she wants to be surprised, so I ain't going to tell her what it is.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I asked her, do you want to be surprised? Do you want me to tell you?
I want to be surprised, but don't you want to know a dress code or like some information? Do I need a snowsuit or a bathing suit?
Yes. Snowsuit or a bathing suit. Yes.
But yesterday he told me to put everything on at the same time.
It's going to be hard to keep this one completely a surprise.
Well, keep it a surprise.
It's going to be hard.
Okay. You can do it. I don't think I've ever had a surprise.
Not because I'm going to tell you.
No.
I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I think this will be one that you can deduce.
You
do computer classes for this? Okay.
That's right. Susan said, that's what I'm here for, correcting you.
Really?
I appreciate it. That's my correction sister.
So we talk about fears a lot because they impact your life so much. Okay, the fear of you're afraid to try this, you're afraid to do that, it impacts your life. And to the degree that we overcome fears, our lives rise.
Absolutely.
Okay, we go up in direct proportion how well we can conquer fears.
I think so.
Now we're gonna cut. I'm so happy that William Brown is here today.
I am too.
We're gonna talk about these major fears. These 4 major fears. They were listed for you.
Absolutely.
But I'm also gonna say this to you. I have a bias because somewhere in my 20s, probably, I heard a report or read a report or saw a report or something, and I adopted that we're only born with 2 fears, and all the other fears we get in our life we learned. And the 2 fears that I've learned to believe that are true are the fear of falling down and the fear of loud noises, that we're born with those fears, innate. Okay, fear of falling down, the fear of loud noises. And I imagine that goes back to caveman protectionisms.
Susan said, I fear I'm not enough. Hey, man, Susan, you're more than enough.
Yes, but it's valid. Thank you, Susan, for saying that, for that level of transparency. It's valid.
Absolutely.
So many people feel like I'm not enough, or at least not enough in certain arenas.
I'm insufficient in certain areas.
Yeah,
and it actually causes. Yeah, in some ways, it triggers a response that is really kind of sometimes out of character when we feel defensive, we feel vulnerable.
Absolutely.
And I think that's something worth delving into, seeing it.
You were right on the head, baby. You hit the nail on the head, because that triggers a reaction. And a lot of times that reaction is physical and chemical and psychological.
Absolutely.
And emotional.
All those
Yes.
Susan said, "Not in my head, but I know it's there."
And I get that. Maybe intellectually might be one thing, but emotionally, it.
Yeah.
And when the brain and the heart are in conflict, the heart invariably wins. You just like when you say to yourself, "I know it's a good idea for me not to do that. I know it's smart for me not to do that, but I just want to." Okay.
Then what happens?
They do what they want. Okay. I shouldn't eat this whole tub of ice cream, but here we go. Okay. I shouldn't eat this.
I don't remember ever eating any of my ice cream, but I don't think I have any ice cream left.
Well, we don't live in a house by ourselves anymore.
You're right, but I didn't have 1 spoon of it.
I didn't get any of your ice cream.
I think
because I got a different kind of ice cream.
Yeah, I don't eat that kind of. I don't eat that all mixed up stuff. William Brown said, "I currently believe that fear is a real or imagined sense of potentially losing something."
Well, I love William Brown's thinking, but the way he's wording this here gives me a pause. And I'm gonna tell you why, William. He says, "I currently believe that fear is a real or imagined sense of potentially losing something." The reason why it makes me pause, William, is because it sounds to me like what you're alluding to is that your imagination is driving it. Potentially being something, potentially fear or real or imagined. That means your imagination is engaged.
You do realize that your imagination is what creates the reality.
Let's go with that. What do you mean, Lisa?
Imagination, everything in your mind is necessary before something is in existence. You can't have a building without an architect to imagine the building. So your imagination is just as powerful, if not more so, because you can imagine far more than you have taken the action to actually create.
Yes.
So those are. So I think that conflating. When I hear someone say, "Oh, it's all in your mind," listen, that means it's more powerful than a single bound. That
probably have to keep preaching
bigger than anything. Oh, it's just in your mind. Yes.
That's powerful.
That's bigger than what you see.
That's what Minister Lisa is trying to say. That's bigger, and that's even more real. What's more real, the thought of the building or the building? What's more real? Sister Phyllis says,
your imagination running from you.
You're right, because and I want to fully embrace William Brown, but I still have a pause now. And even though I know what you said is true, because I also have this thing in my head. What is worry? Worry is the misuse of your imagination. Worry is engaging your imagination to imagine scenarios that likely will never happen, but will cause you consternation if it happened. That's the misuse of your imagination, right?
But it's still a reality.
Okay, but it's still a reality. That's what Lisa said, y'all. I said it was the misuse of your imagination. She said it's still a reality. Is she right? I think she is.
You remind me of that Twilight Zone guy.
Rod Sterling. Imagine a day where a husband and wife team will sit in front of their computers
day after day
and delve into fears. Rod Sterling. Imagine a job, a whole life, and that's all you have to do is introduce a story. That's it.
Man, I think about even as we Amen, William Brown. I love you for that. Audretta says, worry is a down payment on a situation that may never happen. Unless you worry hard enough for it, you can create any reality.
Now, if you worry hard enough for it, it's almost as if you are praying for it to happen. And if you keep worrying about that thing long enough, what happens is your subconscious mind engages and it conspires your world to make that fear, that imagined fear, a reality. That's what happens.
Susan said, and the wife is always right.
Except for those times when she's wrong. She's always right, except for those times when she's wrong. Good morning, Audretta Hall. I'm so excited and happy that you joined us here today for these here. I think I want to go through all of them.
Absolutely.
Specifically.
Audretta, I'm going to tell you, I set every alarm possible on Sunday.
She was so upset that she missed it, Audretta. Whoa, God, what time is it?
It was 8:48. And I had set the alarm for 8:20, 8:25, 8:30. And all of those alarms got, I don't know. I don't even know what happened to them. But I'm still on track.
But still, what happened with you and Audretta? You set all the alarms and missed it. Okay. We just talked about how your subconscious mind accepts things and then conspires your world to make it happen. Classic story, 1955, Baseball World Series, the New York Yankees. The bottom of the ninth inning, the score is tied, and the Yankees are pitching. The Yankees manager, Leo DeRocha, comes out to the mound and tells the pitcher, don't throw the ball high and outside because he'll knock it out of the park. Don't throw it high and outside.
Don't throw the ball
out high and outside. That means don't throw it high up in the pitchers in the strike zone.
High and outside.
Don't throw it high and outside.
High and outside.
Right. But he told him don't throw it high
and outside.
And then he walked back to the dugout. Well, his ears heard don't throw it high and outside, but his subconscious heard high and outside. That's where we don't want to go, right?
Absolutely.
That's exactly what happened.
And that's exactly what happened, Audretta. Instead of saying to myself, go ahead.
So the ball went out of the park. He threw it exactly
high and outside
where the manager told him not to throw it. Why would he do that? He's a world-class baseball pitcher. He knows how to position the ball. He knows how to throw it low and inside if he wants to. He knows how to throw it medium. He's a professional at it. And then after the game, he was telling the reporters, why did he say it like that? Now, he didn't have all the knowledge. He was just pissed off at his manager. He was mad at the manager. Why did he say it like that? Why did he say it like that? That's the point.
So the point that I was trying to conflate with that is it was your fault, Audretta. It was all your fault.
It was Audretta's fault.
Listen, let me finish my point. I'll let you finish your point. Audretta said, don't miss the meeting. Audretta said, make sure that you are in the meeting no later than 8:31. She said, don't miss the meeting. She said, don't miss the meeting. She said, there will be no recap. There will be no follow-ups. Don't miss the meeting. And all I heard was miss the meeting.
Your subconscious
My subconscious heard miss the meeting.
And
with
even though she intended not to.
I very much intended.
We cannot have the opposite of what we want.
That's why positive direction is so
positive direction language.
Positive direction language is so powerful and important.
Again, that's we're going to go there now because I want to cover all four fears, but consistent positive direction language. Both Lisa and I took that training twice by the great J. Burt Freeman.
Once before we were together.
And once after. Once we got together, before we together, after together, but always individually. She did 2 lessons on her own. I did 2 workshops on my own too. one-on-one with what is consistent positive direction language and how to use it. Positive direction language is things like, I'm going to lose this big stuff to I'm going to regain my ideal body. Can talk in language that's moving you towards what you want instead of away from what you don't, because your subconscious don't work like that. And J. Bert Freeman was amazing. He could take any sentence and make it positive.
Absolutely.
Most people can't do it with any sentence.
Any sentence. He's magical. Audretta, know that I said everything to you with love, and I take full responsibility. But I have maintained being consistent and on track with experiencing the lifestyle that I'm dedicated to be sure that I have. I
believe Audretta does receive it in love because Audretta knows that you love her. She knows I love her too, and she loves us back. That's why she's our friend.
Lena says, hey, Susan. Hey, Uzama.
Good morning,
Susan
Miss
says, hey, Lena Janelle. Amen. Good morning, Uzama from Susan. I love the empowerment love in the network. And sure enough, we have over 20 episodes uploaded to our Roku channel.
Woo, woo.
Amen.
Good job, Lisa. Lisa's been putting that work in,
I've been putting it in.
Consistent positive direction language. Would you try it? Would you try to speak in language that moves you towards what you want and not away from? Stop saying stuff like, I'm going to lose that or quit this. I'm going to stop doing that. Reframe that. I'm going to gain this. I'm going to start that. I am
gaining my ideal life and weight and size and strength that I was particularly designed for by the master creator.
See, every word of that is moving towards. Every word of that is positive. Consistent positive direction language.
Amen. William says, I am starting to believe I will be eliminating don't from the beginning of my sentences. Don't.
William Brown, you have a tick. Lisa and I have talked about it, and I've said it to you too. I've said to him too. Dare I say it?
Are you going to say it?
Only with his permission. Can I tell you the tick that I've discussed with you before, William Brown? I haven't noticed it lately.
We've actually prayed against it.
Yes. You have a thing that you do with your language, William Brown, and you do it. You used to do it a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe you've gotten over it. Maybe you've gotten better from it. But do you give me permission to say it out loud?
It says say it. Your response almost every time is no.
Yep. No. No matter, even if you're going to say
even
something
if you're
positive,
going to say yes or say something positive, you started with no.
No, I was just going to plan this. Or no, we're going to go there. William Brown, would you like a piece of cake? No, man, I love cake.
I'll have a slice.
You always would say no first. And it was like so annoying. I mean, we would look at it and like everything starts with no.
And we're giving you prayers and permission to receive it with a yes.
Now, I know I've said this to him directly, and Lisa and I have talked about this, and we have prayed against this. No first. Why no first? No first. But I haven't noticed it lately, William Brown. I will say that.
Well, have you talked to him directly lately?
We talk from time to time, but not as much as we used to. That's true.
Lena Janelle says, good morning, beautiful couple. I love the purple coordination. This is our first coordinated outfit. Actually, it was our first 2015. I don't think this is the same shirt, but
it's
this
definitely
is
not
the same shirt for me.
This
is the same shirt for me. 2015, we ended up on location at my office in the Empowerment Center for a event that we both arrived separately to without
I drove in from out of town that morning.
No coordination. He didn't even live in my house yet. And
I came in, I had on a charcoal gray suit
and
with this purple tie, purple shirt and purple tie. And Lisa had on this top and the charcoal gray suit, jacket and skirt, y'all. We matched perfectly. And I know how it happened. Lisa was outside my window.
I don't know where Greensboro is.
And when she saw what I picked out, she drove back
I've
to
never
Charlotte.
Been to your house in Greensboro. Good morning, Dr. Deborah.
I've driven you down and pointed it out to you. I drove you down the street and said, that's the house I used to live in.
When? Before? Not until years after we were together.
Right, but I have shown you the house.
Hey, man. Dr. Deborah said you guys were meant to be. Yes,
so, Dr. Deborah, we're going to talk about the 4 major fears today. And I'm happy that you're here to help us. The first fear, and not only Dr. Deborah, but Julie, everyone here, you guys know some things.
Hey, Julie Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, neighbors, family, dear ones. Good morning, Julie Ray. Hammer Tree. The fear.
We're going to work on conquering and hope we can get it all done in the time that we're on here together today. First fear is the fear of failure. The fear of failure. What if I try it and it doesn't work? Okay.
The fear of failure is one that held me hostage for a lot of years until my coach, and I love her for it, she said this one thing to me that really, like with the fear of failure, it kind of knocked it out of my head and made it so ridiculous. She said, they can't eat you.
They can't eat you. So
They
why be
can't
afraid?
eat you.
The fear of failure is the biggest fear.
You could lose everything. You can everything could go wrong. Everything that you think when you stand on that stage. First of all, I don't have a fear of speaking, but imagine if I did. Fear of failure is one that just the thought of they can't eat you. It totally healed me.
The fear of failure is the biggest fear because it keeps people from even starting. They put all these kinds of things in their imagination.
Susan said, no, Brian, I was outside your house talking to Lisa and updated her on your outfit.
Probably. There had to be some kind of conspiracy going on.
Hey, Emily, good morning, good morning, good morning.
In my school age years, this is going to be very personal, I'm about to share. In my school age years, I was very athletic. But from age 4th grade on, my reputation was that Brian is the smartest boy. I got the superlatives. Brian's the smartest boy in the 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, all into high school. And by that time, you couldn't have convinced me that I wasn't the smartest boy. I read more than everybody else. And I knew I was reading more books than everybody else, too. I was reading Dr. Joyce Brothers in high school while these guys were still in comics. And I was reading comic books, too. But I was also very athletic. I was on the tennis team, the track team, the basketball team, and in the 10th grade, I became the editor of the school newspaper. So I was on 3 sports teams year-round, and I edited the school newspaper, which means, and I wrote most of the articles in the paper, okay? And I was competing in everything. I was competing in city competitions on speaking. I was competing in, and I was also a member of FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America. And I was the public speaking representative in FBLA. So I was competing a lot. And there was a string of times where I came in 2nd place in a few different competitions. I was 2nd place in an obstacle course. I was 2nd place in something else. I was 2nd place in something else. And there was a classmate that saw that I was, and they were all varied things. He was like, Brian, you always come in 2nd place. And he started to pick at me about that. And he says, that means you're the first loser. And then he says, loser. And then he went on this riff. He says, you a loser, you a boozer, you a bruiser. And he started saying that to me. But for some reason, bruiser stuck. So he started calling me bruiser as an insult. And I knew he was saying bruiser from loser, boozer, bruiser. All right, he was calling me bruiser. And other people, when they wanted to mess with me, bruiser, because they knew they would get a reaction.
That was a trigger.
Even though they didn't know where it came from. But they saw him say it and they would get a reaction for it. And I got to the point where I hated the word bruiser and I wanted to fight this dude every chance I got. And I did end up fighting him. But those kind of things stick in your head. That was somebody saying, now looking back at it now, I was competing on a high level. You know, I wasn't the first loser. I was competing on a high level. I was putting myself out there consistently to win. Lisa,
amen. Amen.
Okay, go ahead and catch up.
So I was getting ready to read that. So it's Leo Kanye, whoever that is, says, Lisa, you need a wig. If I need one, I can make one. But I don't need one. Susan said, Brian, that's awesome. Absolutely. William Brown says, I'm aware of that old pattern and I know the source. My nice guy label believed I always needed to say yes to be liked and accepted. I willed myself to say no more. Now I live an intentional yes life. Amen. Yes. However, my language is still catching up. Thank you for your prayers. They are working. Well, we will double down on our prayers now.
We were so mature.
I am grateful for your
response.
Responses.
Wow.
Absolutely. Self-reflection is the key to success. I'm telling you. When you look at yourself and you can see where you are, what your triggers are, and what things are working for you, and when they have expired working for you, understand there are some things that worked for you until they don't anymore.
when I just told that story, and I believe I've told it to you before about the nickname, you physically responded when I said the first loser. You went, oh, like that.
Yeah, I wanted to beat them up.
Why?
Because that was a narrow-minded person.
I was probably 13 then.
Yeah,
14.
So that, first of all, that makes me even more mad because that was a narrow-minded person who was deflecting their own failures on your successes.
They didn't even try nothing.
And thereby trying to bring you into a place of equality instead of raising themselves up to where you are.
Yeah.
Emily said, I need your advice. I want to get back into the gym so that I can improve and lose weight for my trip to Vegas. The only problem is that I have no assistance with my autistic son. I can work out at home I can't work out at home because there's too many distractions. I can't leave my son alone. Can you please give me some advice? So first of all, we will give you some prayer.
This paragraph.
Absolutely. First of all, we're going to give you some prayer. Second of all, I want you to connect with Audretta, because there are many things that you can do that don't have anything to do with.
She's on the feed.
She's on the feed today. Audretta Hall, she is on the feed, and it has nothing to do with your exercises or getting into the gym, but more so with the things that you put into your body and your mind.
Now let's talk about that mind. I want to get back into the gym so I can improve and look myself and lose weight. The only problem is
all of that assistance. All of that language is taking you away from the actual success that you crave.
I want to get back into my ideal body with the time and space that I have.
Amen.
With the time and space that you have. Yes, you have to help your autistic son. Yes, you do. But there is some time and there is some space and there is something that you can do, like Lisa was just alluding to.
Absolutely. There's some things that you already do that you just get to do a little bit differently with some knowledge. Audretta Hall, would you please connect yourself with our friend Emily Nelson? Emily Nelson, would you please connect with Audretta Hall?
That's an opportunity for both of you.
I am telling you that this will be what the answer that you have been searching for, because that first call that I had with Audretta had such a mindset shift that we are now 36 days later and not 34 days later, and I have consistently changed so many things about my mindset habits first before endeavoring to do anything.
We gotta get Dr. Beverly.
Dr. Lena says, Lisa, your curls are popping as usual. Thank you. Dr. Beverly says, failure, fear, success, the unknown, grand rising to my favorite, awesome, beautiful family. Mariana and the crew says, hello. Audretta says that will be a post today. Self-reflection is a key to success. Amen and amen and amen.
That's so
true, Lisa.
Pulling someone else down instead of raising himself up.
Absolutely. Lena says, Emily, I am praying for you too. I have a son on the autism spectrum, and
she does, an adult son.
Mm-hmm. For years I didn't have a lot of assistance. I can suggest resources.
Take advantage of that. She just said she can suggest resources, Emily.
So Emily, connect with Lena Janelle. Amen. Audretta puts her phone number out for the world to see.
I'm always so nervous when women put their phone number on, like Dr. Beverly does it freely.
My phone number has a block button on it.
That's true, but some dudes.
And my house has a big, strong husband.
That's true. But some dudes gonna see Audretta's number and not use it for weight loss programs.
Whatever.
They're gonna use it to holler at Audretta.
Holla's hang-up game is tight. Her number is 336-471-7672. Anything that has to do with living your best physical and emotional life would deem supportive from Audretta. And I'm telling you,
we're gonna have to hustle through to get through all of them.
Dr. Beverly says the fear of being judged. Not sure if I've ever had issues with that. I've always been in competition that calls for a judge. The first judge I really had to battle is that Beverly judge.
Yeah.
The second judge is my children.
Yes,
amen.
That's right. Your own self is a judge, your children are a judge, but that also manifests of the fear of being laughed at, the fear of being judged. They're going to laugh at you. Okay.
Susan said, who has an autistic son? I deal with my grandson's autism often. Look at that. We have a whole
Lena Janelle
family.
and Emily Nelson.
Absolutely. Emily says, I've already changed my diet back to vegetarian diet, and I am doing my yoga practice, but it's not enough.
Yes, it is.
Amen. It is. We're going to shape this. We're going to change this mindset. And I'm telling you, I'm here to support you as well. But I want you to go to the main primary support, and that is Audretta. I can support you in any way that I can. I can pray with you. I can help you to get clarity on the issue. But I am telling you,
be the resource.
I am directing you to Audretta Hall.
Zig Ziglar used to tell the story about people who try to use instant weight loss programs and rapid weight loss programs because there was a popularity of it, a proliferation of it. He goes, friend, it took you 46 years to gain that weight. Don't lose it like that. Don't do that instant thing. That's not the way to go.
That's right. Dr. Deborah says, I have lost weight only using Audretta's 411 journal and being in her group. Now I am going to add the gym, and I'm so excited. And those are part of the journey. Amen. Those are part of the journey. Amen. Susan says,
but her attitude of being excited about going into it, I think that impacts how well it's going to go.
Absolutely. William Brown says, my hang-up game is tight. My block game is tight too. Amen. And Phyllis said, my grandson is also on the spectrum. Amen. Lena Janelle said, I have fear of failure written down. So for what are the other three fears?
Number one is the fear of failure. Number two, we're going to go there now. Number two is the fear of success.
What will happen as a result of me gaining this? I'm going to have to pay more taxes. I'm going to be so busy. I'm not going to have time for my family.
Yeah.
And you start listing out the things that will happen in a negative light because of your success, and everything will conspire to make sure you don't have those results.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Fear of success it manifests just like that. What if I achieve it? What are going to be the negative
Everybody's going to
consequences?
Need me. I'm not going to have any time to myself.
All of that. Yep.
I'm going to be in a higher tax bracket.
All of that.
All of the things.
And it also manifests itself in a thing called perfectionism. And trying to get everything perfect. Trying to do everything perfect is an indicator of the fear of success.
I'm going to lose my SSI or my unemployment.
But let me study for a little bit longer, just in case somebody asks this one innocuous question that I don't have. Okay? That's fear of success.
That's fear of success.
So number one is the fear of failure. Number two is the fear of success. Number three is the fear of the unknown.
Fear of the unknown.
I don't know what that's going to be, so I'm going to stay away from that.
I don't know what that's going to be like. I don't even know those people over there. I don't know. None of the people I know are in that area.
I'm not even going to go to those neighborhoods. I'm not going to go to those cities. I'm not going to go to those meetings because I don't know those people.
No, they're all racists and robbers.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
There's no good people.
There's no good people over there. Everything is horrible over there.
The fear of the unknown is the third of the four major fears.
And number four.
There's more fears than this, but these are the four majors. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of the unknown. Number four is the fear of being judged.
And that comes even sooner than your success. The fear of being judged. Have you ever walked into a room and some people were over there talking? And they were talking to themselves and they were engrossed in conversation, and it didn't look like they saw you when you came in. And then you felt that they were talking about you. You felt that they saw that dress that you had on was too much or too little.
This TV series we just watched called Suits. There was a scene where one of the protagonists is a guy named Louis Riddick. He's one of the partner law firm lawyers. He was looking for his other two partners, and they happened to have been at dinner. So he goes to the restaurant where he thinks they're going to be. He sees them there, and he calls them from the restaurant. They can't see him. He calls them. He watches them pick up the phone.
See it's him, and he made assumptions.
Yeah, and put it back down.
And they put it back down.
Right. And then he saw them laughing. Now, they were already joking and laughing before the phone call came. But he assumed they were laughing at him. And
they decided before that phone rang that whoever it is, we promised to set this time aside for ourselves.
They were in relationship.
And they decided that whoever it was could leave a message, and if it was important, they would call them back. The phone rang. They picked it up. They waited for it to go to whatever voicemail or whatever. And he saw that and didn't leave a message. So they put the phone back down and got back to their conversation. He saw it as rejection. Yep. They didn't even know.
He saw it as laughing at him.
They didn't even know that he was watching them. They didn't know that it was important or not. And understanding that, how many times have you made that inaccurate assessment of a situation? Cynthia says, I don't like the expression, better the devil you know than the devil you don't. Sometimes the unknown can hold more possibilities. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. We've been taught that better the devil you know than the devil you know don't. For the people that love us, the people that love us have taught us some of these things that we have learned to protect us. When I think about my story, Raised by Chickens, I think about the fact that the mother hen did not want to keep her baby from flying, from soaring high up in the sky, her baby chick, but she didn't realize that her baby chick was a baby eagle and that flying high in the sky was natural.
That's a great point. The mother in that story wanted to protect her child. She did love the child. Absolutely. Raised by chickens. If you're an eagle being raised by chickens, it doesn't work well for long, even though the mother's very well intentioned.
And she loves you.
Good morning, Tamika Ford. Good to see that you slid through here this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, Sister Patrina. It was great talking to you yesterday. I love you. I love you. I love you so much.
Amen. So overcoming these fears, can they be overcome, William Brown? Can steps be taken, Dr. Deborah Dunstan?
Time, self-reflection,
how do you handle them? Go ahead.
Time, self-reflection, support, and a willingness to do things differently than you have always done.
Understanding that they can't eat you.
They can't eat you. And understanding that just because you've always known something to be one way does not mean that that is the way that it really should be.
So what do you say about how to overcome these major fears? What say you? Uzama, it's the unknown for me. Uzama. Well, you're demonstrating that you overcome that too.
Or that you're overcoming it.
That you're sometimes that's another point. You never completely conquer these things. You spar with them. You keep going with them, because to a level, like overcoming the fear of rejection. Okay, that's one thing in sales. The fear of rejection. Nobody is 100% bulletproof when it comes to the fear of rejection. But for the people who fear rejection on a high, like 90% of the time they fear it. But the people who fear it only 40% of the time, they do better than the people who fear it 90% of the time. It's still relevant. It's still prevalent. The fear of rejection in sales. That's what we should call that, the fifth fear. The fear of rejection.
William Brown said, I've been imagining fearing success this for a while, mainly because of past trauma. I am slowly healing from that trauma, so I can not step into my life. I imagine slowly healing from the trauma so that you cannot step into your life. So I don't think I understood.
William Brown has been very public about this, and he's told me before that I could share this. William Brown used to own a facility called the Technology Center, and it was big, and he owned it, and it was beautiful, and he had all the tech. They had smart rooms, which means in this room, you can go in this room, and the dry erase board was smart. All the technology was in these rooms. These meeting rooms were smart meeting rooms. He had a big open area for large networking. You could have done concerts in there. He had a little stage area for presentations in there. It was a beautiful facility. And when you walk through it, which I did, you wonder, man, who owns this place? And William Brown's like, I own it. And I was like, well, who owns it with you? Because it looked like too much for him to have by himself. It was gorgeous. I used to love to go there myself. And he goes, no, Brian, it's mine. And he had amazing people there too. The amazing top people in the area would come to this center. And he was up there. It was hard work the whole time. It was hard work for him to acquire it. It was hard work for him to keep it. And he ended up losing it. Now, a business success and a business challenge like that can break a man. And it could break a man for a long time. They saw me lose it. How embarrassing is that? What if I try it again and lose it again? William Brown just said he's working on overcoming that. Amazing.
Amen. Amen. William Brown says, what do we do? Like Lisa said, awareness is key. Amen. Awareness is key. Amen. Lena Janelle said the four major areas: fear of failure, fear of success, fear of the unknown, fear of being judged. Yes, Cynthia, I know that phrase about the devil is the one I struggle with. It's a universal fear, but culturally, the fear of the unknown has been one of the worst African Americans, I believe. I have to talk myself up to deal with that fear. Amen.
That's a way of protecting ourselves.
Amen. Thank you for that correction, William Brown. He says,
so that I can live the life I imagine.
Amen.
Lena Janelle.
I just realized what I'm naming my places.
Write it down, please. Write it down now, because I need you to capture this. Our virtual spaces. That's it. That's it. That makes sense to me. Okay. We're building our virtual spaces that we own. I have one, and Lisa has one too. So mine is going to be called the Sales Confidence Camp, and I have all kinds of stuff around it too. And you can sell yours whenever you're ready. Okay.
Dr. Deborah says, yes, my first step on the journey was a realization. I didn't even realize that I had these fears. I am still on the journey in some areas of my life because of past trauma attached to them, but I am determined to keep moving forward.
Yes. Now look at her language there, because I'm paying attention to it now. All of her language in that paragraph was directional forward.
Absolutely.
All of it. To the degree that we can do that, can you speak more positively? Can you speak towards language versus away language? Can you be aware of it?
Absolutely. I wonder if J. Burt Freeman is in a place where he could be a guest.
We've had him as a guest before, but let's try to get him again. Would you like to have Mr. J. Burt Freeman, who's been so impactful to Lisa in our lives?
Absolutely.
He's been really, really impactful.
And I will reach out.
I have his number too.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay.
I believe he has been having some health challenges, but I think that he would still welcome the opportunity.
And he would do it with glee.
And we would love to have him.
He'll challenge you, man. I tell you. Like for things like
he's amazing.
He wouldn't want to go to, or he would like, he could look at billboards, for example, and he would want to reword the billboard. Things like, come to the anti-gun violence rally.
Not gonna do it.
You don't want to go to an anti-gun violence rally.
So the name of the book is Positive Direction Language, and his name is J, the letter J, Burt.
B-E-R-T.
B-E-R-T.
And Freeman.
Right? Yes. J. Burt Freeman. Positive Direction Language. And he has a positive direction program. There's a big book and there's a little book. We encouraged him to write the little book because
he gives me the credit.
Amen.
For encouraging him to boil down the big book into a much smaller bite. And he said so from a platform.
Absolutely.
I want to thank Brian McNeill for inspiring me to make a smaller version of this book.
Absolutely, because it is a lot of principles and precepts that require some mindset shifts to be able to embrace. But I'm telling you, once you embrace them, it is a lifestyle that is supportive of the one that we get to experience.
Yes, J. Burt, and it's just the letter J, and B-E-R-T. And I appreciate you, Sister Lena, for cheerleading. We love bringing in great guests with you guys.
She says, virtual spaces, that's so cool. Brian kind of jumped the gun for me there, but I will share it. That's you all will know before next week.
Okay, because we're working on it. We're in a wonderful place in a dynamic time. Do you realize how dynamic our days are, Lisa? All the stuff we're learning so much stuff, but at the same time, we're building businesses too, but we're in a learning mode. We're in a learning space. Like every day we're taking in new information and learning stuff that we probably need to know, but that's where we are right now. We're in a dynamic growth place. And even if the growth seems funny, there's going to come a time where this thing sprouts grass and trees and all that. Okay. So we're in a dynamic time for us. How about you? It's 9:43. You know what we do about this time of day. Y'all know what we do. What do we do? What do we do about this time of day, Lena? What do we do, Lena?
We do it, doing it, and doing it, and doing it. Wow. Doing it, and doing it, and doing it. Wow.
This broadcast ends at 9:52. That's our plan. And this morning at 9:52, when the broadcast is over, my beautiful wife is going to get up from this chair, go downstairs, and go into the kitchen and bust some pots and pans.
Robin C. Stern and Brother Mark Greer just jumped into the room. Amen.
Kaboom.
Robin said, let's go, success. Amen. I had a moment with you, Robin C. Stern, last night. I'll tell you in a moment.
Oh, my God.
Mark Greer says, what's happening, fam? Do one thing that you consider to be great, not what someone else thinks is great. What you know is great.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
We went to dinner last night at our favorite spot. We took my mother with us. Lisa has not had alcohol. Audretta, Lisa has not had alcohol in a long time. Okay. It's been a long time since Lisa had any alcohol, and she had one glass of Merlot wine. It wasn't even liquor. It was wine. She had one, and it was with dinner. It was with dinner. So she had food in her system, one glass of wine, and before she even finished the one glass of wine, oh God, she was gone. She was buzzed, and then by the time we got in the car, taking her home, by the time she made it upstairs, it got worse.
But I was singing your song.
The goo goo goo.
The goo goo goo. I was a slur drunk.
One glass of Merlot. Merlot at that. I don't even drink no wine like that.
But nobody was around. Nobody.
Me and my mother.
That's it. I don't have to worry about it in that space.
No, that's safe for you. Okay, but I'm telling y'all, she can't drink. Okay. So
I don't drink in public. I don't drink in public, and I seldom drink at all. Yes, Robin, I was singing your song with fervor.
I'm like, Lisa.
It was wonderful.
Couldn't believe her. Couldn't believe you.
It was wonderful. And
so let's go into our greeting songs. This is our way of saying thank you to our consistent contributors. And a contributor is someone who says something in the comment section that we can read. I'm so excited. I will say this to get to our own spaces that we own, because we have more control over who's in our room and what they say when they get into our room. For example, Susan Candy has a greeting song. Goes, Susan, you're everything I hope for.
You're everything I need.
You are so beautiful to me.
Robin said, with fervor, Brian's not going to let us meet now.
That's right. Lena Janelle says, I shared your podcast with one of my day ones last night. He bought your book, Brian, and I was showing him how you and Lisa work together as a married couple.
Aww.
His wife wants to start a podcast about marriage and loving God. He took a pic with the book. So did I. I'll send y'all the pics. Lisa, you got me cracking up. Thank you, Lena. Lena has consistently demonstrated love and friendship. Lena, we appreciate your love and your friendship so high. Lena, if you was closer on this side of town, you'd be going to dinner with us more often. For real.
Miss Phyllis is here.
Miss Phyllis is here.
Miss Phyllis is here.
So clear the way.
Miss Phyllis is here.
Phyllis is here.
Miss Phyllis
now we
is
can
here.
all have a great day.
Man.
Good morning, Miss Phyllis.
William Brown has a song too. In the building.
Good morning to our friend Will.
Nobody thinks like him still.
We love him so, and we always will.
Our friend Will.
William Brown, I want you to know that you are important to me.
And
you're important to our household.
Absolutely.
And to the world around you.
Absolutely.
Audretta Hall. Ain't no woman like Audretta Hall.
When it comes to health and wellness.
That's our lady there, Audretta Hall. Audretta, we appreciate your generosity and how you share. Audretta is another one of our amazing friends.
Amazing.
Mr. Uzama Ra has a song.
Bitcoin King, he's the Bitcoin King. Uzama. Bitcoin King, he's the Bitcoin King. Uzama.
Lena Janelle says, thank you, BKM. I love my empowerment duo fan.
We love you back.
And you know what? Some people, Lena's another one of those people. She never kind of got eased into it.
No,
she just showed up and she was there. That's
Boom,
it.
step in the room.
Oh, no. She's in here. That's it.
Lena Janelle, baby.
We gets high off our art, don't know how to behave.
Ooh.
Good morning, Lena Janelle, baby.
We appreciate you.
Julie Ray
Hammontree. Find out what she means to me.
Julie Ray Hammontree. Good morning, Julie Ray Hammontree.
Good morning, Julie Ray, and welcome back. We haven't seen you in a little minute.
But it's always nice when you come through.
Absolutely.
Dr. Deborah Dustin has a song.
Dr. Deborah, trauma healing and manifestation coach. Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're brand new, I don't want you to feel like it's just people that know each other in this circle. This circle is open and is welcome to expand, but only for the right kind of folk. The kind of folks who are mature, grown-ups, supportive, loving, entrepreneurial. That's who we got in this room.
Absolutely, okay? And we appreciate you.
Come in this room the right way. We in there with you.
That's right. And you're willing to take a double take. Come in and step out and come back as you should come in.
William Brown, we did his song already, right?
Thank you. We thank you. We did Lena, Emily.
Okay.
Emily.
And you came and you gave without taking.
Oh, Emily.
Yep. And non-judgmental space. That's what we are
it's
here.
Not a judgmental space. It's not a judgmental space. It's not a it's not an accusatory space. It's not an in-your-face space. It's a loving space. And it's a welcoming space. And we would like to keep it that way. You can be yourself, but be your best authentic self.
We did have a child pop into the room today saying childish things. They're not a part of us. And that's another reason why we're going to get our own space so we could just block them right away. Okay?
I am not as quick to block as you.
I would be, because they came in the room the wrong way and used the wrong language. That's not about us. And you know what? The people that you let go don't cause you problems. The people that you cut don't cause you problems.
This is true.
Just get rid of them.
This is
Dr.
true.
Beverly has a logo that goes, Dr. Beverly is on the show. And Dr. Beverly, good morning to you and the rest of your crew. Good morning to you guys as well.
Good morning. I'm trying to go through the list to see who we have.
Cynthia Moore.
More. Cynthia B. Moore. More. Patrina is your private dancer.
Oh, okay. I was going to do
She's
your
got a smile
so bright.
No, that's Sister Jeannie.
That's right.
Sister Patrina is your private dancer. Dancer for money. Do what you want me to do. She'll dance,
Patrina
baby.
She will dance.
She will dance in the middle of a conversation that don't have nothing to do with dance or have any music.
Go to an event with Patrina.
It's in her head. The music is always, she got her own private DJ and he up there playing what she needs to move.
That's why she stays in amazing shape.
That's right. Oh, Emily.
That's right. Isn't that
Robin said that.
Isn't that a cool
Emily.
jam?
Amen.
Oh, Emily. That's Barry. And she's going to go see Barry Manilow sometime this summer. Robin Stern.
He teaches about Google
all
day.
No.
What?
He talks about Google
all day long, teaching and preaching and singing.
Knowledge is strong.
All little coaches on
Google Street.
Love to hear the Google teach.
The Google Guru.
Teach the Google Guru. Teach.
Wait, let's try that one more time. He talks about Google all day long, preaching and teaching because his knowledge is strong. All those coaches on Google Street.
Love to hear
the Google Guru teach the
Google Guru. Teach the Google Guru.
All right, I want to replace coaches with entrepreneurs or business people or something.
You got too many words, too many syllables.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, it can't be just coaches. All right, but we're working on it, Robin. We'll get it.
It was much better when I was drunk. It came out flowed and smooth.
Mark Greer.
And wonderful.
Mark Greer has a song too. So wide you can't get around it.
So low you can't get under it.
So high you can't get over it. Mark Greer is under a groove. He's getting down just for the funk of it. Mark Greer is under a groove. Nothing can stop us now.
That's right. Event planners too. We got to get it in there.
Okay, we'll put that in there. Lena Janelle. Lena
we
Janelle.
did Lena Janelle.
That's right, we did Lena Janelle. Okay,
we did Lena Janelle. We did.
Good
Whoa. Morning,
Dr. William Lee Jr. Good morning, my brother. How you doing, man?
Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us.
It's good to see you too,
morning.
Man.
It's good to be seen and not viewed. Brother Mark says, "Do we need to send some of the boys?"
I think we do for some of the things.
Yeah. Some of the people that try to come in the room, they need to understand that we as a tight group.
We need those bodyguards at the door.
Amen. Lena said Robin has a good one, but it's work. We're working on it. It's gotta be
we're willing to do the work.
We gotta do the work. We gotta do the work. Amen. We get
Mark's
to do the work.
song is her fave.
That's right. Mark's song is a bop, as Lena would say. It is a bop.
It's 9:55. We gotta go. We're 3 minutes late getting out of here.
And I gotta make breakfast because this guy is getting hangry.
I never get hangry, but that's okay. I do want my breakfast.
Hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. Make sure that you remember that every time you get ready to catch yourself in an attitude that is not one that represents you. I see
properly. We have an attitudinal problem here. But anyway, let's go.
We love you. We love you, love you, love you. Amen. God bless you. In the meantime, don't forget to have sex.